Well, I hope you guys aren't going to be too upset that it's been such a long time since I've done a Guilty Gear lore video. That you guys will like this, and if you already read the title of the video, you know it's Baiken, and hopefully you guys will approve. But without further ado, let me do the introductions here. My name is Clever Fox Soul, and welcome to the Clever Fox Soul channel, which is dedicated mostly to Guilty Gear XR and Guilty Gear related material. And today we are bringing back Guilty Gear lore with the character known as Baiken. Yes, I know it's been such a long time since I've done a video of anything of the sort. I wasn't actually too pleased with some of the videos I did in the past. Like, I'm gonna have to redo Soul Bad Guy and some other characters. So hopefully you guys will be okay with that. But we're gonna try this out again, and we're gonna bring back the series hopefully. And because you guys did seem like you did like it, so hopefully you guys will like this. So without further ado, let's get started right into the Baiken lore video. So let's get into some Baiken lore here. So before we get started, you guys should know, if you're not a Guilty Gear person, you're just getting into the series, that Baiken was a playable character throughout the entire Guilty Gear franchise. Okay, except for one. In Guilty Gear Original, Baiken was just a secret character that was a hidden boss that had her own agenda, which we'll get to in a little bit in the video, but that's the only game that I know of that she wasn't really playable, except for like Relevator now and all this. But my gosh, Relevator, woo! Isn't she beautiful in that? Well, let's go ahead and use some source information here and come up with an opinion about it. So, according to GG World, tougher by far than any man, a fighter through and through, Baiken has sacrificed everything in pursuit of one goal. She's always ready with a weapon, and a dispute quickly becomes a fight if Baiken is involved. Baiken often acts before thinking, but she sticks with her principles and prefers to get everything out in the open. Although she rather fight than talk, she is capable of admitting when she is wrong, if the argument is strong enough. So Baiken's basic idea, you know, is that she's basically the person that will shoot first, shoot second, and then ask the questions. But there's a reason behind all this, and to outline a couple more things, Baiken is also one of the very few remaining Japanese people in the world. Baiken was born to fight. At some point, she had her right arm replaced with this brutal contraption, and the only purpose of which is to restrain and kill her opponents. And despite all this, there's a character that comes into her lore of the video, which we'll talk about maybe later on, which is Angie Muto, who hails from the same village as Baiken, and walks with a line of being polite and taunting whenever he speaks to her. And this leaves us to believe that Angie sort of has a thing for Baiken, which we'll get into the story a little bit about that and see what we feel. So, now in this segment, I'm going to let you guys know I've taken as much information as I could from across Guilty Gear XR Sign, Guilty Gear XR Revelator, is discs where they have the encyclopedia inside of them, as well as different sources online to try to come together with an appropriate lore type background. So hopefully this may be what you're looking for, and then we'll get maybe a little bit of a discussion afterwards. So let's get started. So now we're going to get into the Crusades, how all this got started. During the Crusades, the nation Japan was destroyed by Gears. This was the time when Baiken was a child. The Gears attacked the Japanese Institute where she was living at the time. During the invasion, she witnessed the bloody death of basically her parents and other people, with her right arm severed and her left eye gouged out. From the flames, she could see a silhouette of that man, and swore revengeance upon him. Presumably the Gears as well, but mostly that man, okay? Basically, she saw him, she saw her parents dead, she saw her eye gouged out, she saw her arm gone, boom! She wanted revenge on that man. So, since then, she's been training herself to use the katana and dedicated herself into hunting him down. This is how, basically, the entire background of what makes Baiken's personality is an assassin that basically has one motive. She trained herself because that man came in and took her life away. And that's why she is hell-bent on revenge. Now, if we go through the game basis, in Guilty Gear 1, like I was saying before, Baiken was just a hidden boss, basically a secret character in the game, and wasn't a major part of the story. Basically, I believe it was said that she only entered the tournament to seek out the creator of Gears and, well, get revenge on him, but instead she got revenge on Justice. So she was just, like I said, a hidden boss, secret character in the game, nothing really to do with it. However, during the time of Guilty Gear X, Baiken now has more of a main role. She is still seeking her revenge, hunting down monsters which, quote-unquote, are gears, such as Soul Bad Guy and others she considers to be the demons. Including this would be Potenkum and Faust. Now, if you go through the Guilty Gear X story ending after you go through the arcade, her first ending, and I believe she was basically nearing the killing of both Testament and Dizzy, but it's decided to let them go. Her stated reason was that she couldn't find that man. And I believe in the other ending, which is, I'm not gonna say this is canon, but that was basically where she just accompanied Johnny for a drink, because you know Johnny's a ladies' man, so you know Johnny wanted that. But the canon ending would be that she couldn't find that man, so she basically just let Testament and Dizzy go, and thus would continue her search to find that man. Which just leads us into Guilty Gear XX, which is basically a continuation, where she's still on the search for that man. And this is where she eventually runs into Angie, who is also seeking that man, but Angie does not wish, in this sense, to kill that man, but instead wants to ask him a couple of questions concerning the gears. Therefore, in order to save the Keeper of Knowledge, Angie attempts to halt Baiken. This is where, in the endings, kind of, I don't know, get a little weird in a sense, but like one of the endings, she does meet that man, but is unable to harm him. And in the second, there's a the Post-War Administration Bureau, which sends a brainwashed May and Robokai after her, and she's very easily able to dispatch them, you know. And in the third ending, Angie stalls her, but she spares his life on a condition that he will share the information that he managed to gather from that man, so that way she could continue her pursuit with that man. Now, out of these three different endings, I would probably say the most canon out of the three would be the third ending, where Angie stalls her, but basically she's the one who spares his life in the altercation. And the altercation to where he shares information with her, because sometime later during Guilty Gear XX Accent Core, if you want to follow this as canon, she is still continuing her search for her revenge against that man, which again she fails on finding him, but Angie insists on becoming her new accomplice. And in the first ending, it is shown that Angie at her side, vowing to protect her, and he also quits the status of follower of that man. And he states that he doesn't want her to die, and brings Baiken a cold realization that man is beyond them both. And now they travel together, which apparently this is stated that Baiken has now given up her vengeance on that man. Which, you see, that's why I said, because Guilty Gear XX Accent Core, that's, if you want to consider Accent Core basically part of the canon series, then this would state that, you know what, she's realized, you know what, he's beyond my abilities, he's beyond my power. You know what, screw it, I'm done with revengeance. But I can't see that. Now, with Revelator's release, we did get to see a newly revamped, a newly rebooted, and much hotter Baiken with no saggy grandma titties. Here in Revelator's story, though, Baiken is brought to Kum Hyun by May, who is in need of assistance with a sudden illness that plagues the colony. Baiken escorts them to the scarce tree, which has had generations of ki basically injected into it, which is allowing Kum to use her tuning abilities to their fullest. This right here basically leads Baiken to question Hyun's motives. And after confirming that they are just, Baiken here now swears to guard her. And during the fight between Soul Bad Guy and justice and all, and with the man, and everybody's coming together and they're doing their big old fighting thing. The colony is happened to be attacked at that time, and Illyria at the same time. So Baiken is defending Coom with May and also Chip's right-hand man, Answer. So they're all together trying their best to help Coom basically do what she needs to do to try to help the colony. And that is so far not the entire lore, I guess, but that is so far the lore of what's happening so far with Baiken from the beginning till now. And we would have to wait till the next Xrd game to see if Baiken would be a playable character, as well as what her story would entail from thus far. Maybe she will continue now her revenge against that man. That's what I would hope for. I mean, come on. Even though the new Baiken is hot and lovely, I kind of miss that old attitude of basically Rurouni Kenshin's Himura Kenshin, where it was the Batosai wanting to go ahead and murder everybody. Basically, that's what I miss. That's what I want. I want the Batosai. And besides, a little trivia fact for you guys is that even though Baiken wasn't at all referenced by any kind of musical source, I do happen to believe that Baiken kind of does have an influence of Rurouni Kenshin's Batosai from the samurai side, because even the voice actor, if I'm not mistaken, the comment section below is probably going to tell me I'm wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, it's been a long time since I played Guilty Gear X, but I believe that Baiken's voice actor in Guilty Gear was also that of the same Japanese voice actor for Himura Kenshin. If not, they do sound so similar. So I think that's going to do it here. That was like, this is going to be like maybe like a 10-minute to 12-minute video. And guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this lore video of Baiken. Hopefully you guys did like it. Hopefully you guys have some more information that you can, you know, put in the comment section below and let me know. Maybe there's some misinformation here that I have, or maybe I got it all right and you guys are like, yo, that's pretty damn cool, man. But otherwise than that, guys, thank you so much. Take it easy, and I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.